your money. And you want to lock in your trades, and you also want to protect your downsides at the same time.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to another edition of American Dream Trading's live futures education and trading broadcast. This is an outreach of American Dream Trading, which was founded by Chad Christian, who we call Coach. We call him Coach because he brings us more than 33 years into everything investing, whether it's day trading, swing trading, long-term investing, investing for income, you name it. He teaches us on it. He covers everything from stocks, stock options, crypto, and my personal favorite and the focus of this meeting, futures. So I welcome you here. My name is Mark McSee. I'm one of the more than 20 moderators here at American Dream Trading. Glad to have you with us. And if you have this is your first time here, you know the routine. Click subscribe, like, share, and make sure your notification buttons are turned on so that you don't miss any of our upcoming broadcasts. We are live here 3 times daily. Coach is live from 9 to 11. I'm live from 2 to 4, and we have our aftermarket show starting at 4 p.m. over on our YouTube channel, American Dream Trading. Glad to have you here. As always, if you have any questions, comments about anything related to futures or the stock market in general, feel free to type them into your social media chat box, and we'll do our best to answer your questions live as time allows. So glad to have you all here today. We did pretty good today in the markets. We were trading in gold a lot today. Gold had a nice run down this morning. I did fairly well myself on that. I traded both my large and my small accounts on that. And I need to adjust this here. This is not right. This 52-week line, I haven't updated it on this chart per se. That should be at 43.81. Or no, 43.98. There we go. Make that more accurate. There we go. Get that out of the road. So anyway, gold had a really nice pull down this morning. Ran down for the longest time. There's about $1,000 on one contract right there, if I recall correctly. Let me see here. If we got in up here on the break and hold of the 9, down to there, that's 1,100 ticks. So it'd have been $1,100 just to there, just to that point. Just riding the ride down. Now, again, it did have some pullbacks there along the way. But if you had the intestinal fortitude to hang on, that was one click, $1,000 plus. So that's part of your training if you can hold on. Do I hold on that long? No, I don't. I don't have the patience sometimes. I like locking in my profits and re-entering. And sometimes that's detrimental to my trading. But it is what it is. That's how I trade anyway. James is so kind over there, one of our moderators over there on YouTube's in the live chat over there. He has clickable links to all our special promos we have going on. We still have the free 7-day trials going on with our premium membership. That's trading live in a Zoom call every morning starting at 8:45 a.m. with Coach and all the other trading moderators in that room. We also have the crypto 7-day free trial. They have live training on Wednesday nights, so if you join today, you can get in on that live training tomorrow night, 7:15 Eastern Time. And then we have the Futures 7-day free trial, which I'm part of. We start training and trading at 8:30 a.m. together on a live Zoom call. So it's a great experience to get your training in. What you see here is the free portion of what we do. This is just the tip of the iceberg, though. You're really missing out on effective training. You have access to a live open mic all day long. So we're glad you could be here with us. Taking a look at ES. ES was down. It was choppy this morning. We didn't even really, I don't know any member I heard play this morning. They might have. I know we had some people playing NQ later in the day. I didn't play that at all. I played the Dow also. The Dow was really nice up at the beginning there. Let's see, go back here to
Gold bounced off our key level.
Gold. Okay, thank you. The Dow, we did a 15-minute candle check this morning, first 15-minute candle. All of them indicated a downtrend on the different futures that we looked at, other than the Dow. The Dow was the only one that gave a positive uptrend following the 15-minute candle. This is something Coach has always taught. It's not a new principle. You'll have them tick toddlers on there make it sound like it's some new great revelation. Well, it might be to them, but Coach has been teaching us that forever. And it's not a guarantee like any other thing, but it works more often than not. And YM, the Dow, was the only one that gave a positive trend to the upside with the first 15-minute candle, because it was higher than what the pre-market was. And as you can see, it did that very thing clear up to 11 o'clock, and then it pulled back, right? So, and it's kind of held its own up here. It's in a channel now, right? So the other ones all indicated a downside play, and they did. I know, ES and NQ are really choppy to the downside at the start there, as you can see there on that chart. Where's NQ? NQ did the same thing. They were really volatile. There's your downside there also. Oops, that's not the downside. It's back here. I didn't go back far enough. Let's see. At the open. There it is. There's the downside on that, just like the 15-minute candle told us. Russell was kind of all over. It pulled real hard during the day, and it had a couple other big pulls, big drops. And there's the open here of the Russell. It did initially try to go up, but then it just kind of fell apart a little bit on us. I wasn't in on that, but it did drop at the open also. So, and gold was the same way. Gold indicated a downward trend for the day, and as you can see, it very much has done so. So it's a very good indicator. Take a look at it if you happen to think of it. Oil also indicated to the downside, but it actually had some really, really nice runs today to the upside and the downside. There's your 930 pulled to the downside like our 15-minute candle told us, but it also had some nice EWO plays down and up, down, back up. You could have made good money just playing EWOs also on oil, amongst other things, right? You can play the EWO on everything. But gold, I just like gold. We had a lot of members that's really starting to love playing gold. It can reward you very well financially. Now, it's been super volatile today. Earlier today, it was over, 115 or something ATR on a 1-minute candle. It was crazy because of the wild swings and ginormous pulls. Right here, you can see there's some big pulls here and big upswings, and that'll tend to mess with the ATR average true range. It's average, right? You're always going to have larger candles than normal ones, so that's why you pad your ATR when you're putting in your stops. We West Coast, good to see you here. And Nunya over there, or one of our moderators, over there on our TikTok also. James is over there on moderating the TikTok, the YouTube. Just Sell It, one of our friends from far north, is in there. Good to see you back, a regular here. How do I know they're from the north? Because that person said it one time, and I've remembered that. We have quite a few members that live in Canada. And Just Sell It visits here every single day, practically. Good to see you. All right. So, if you have any questions, feel free to type them in the chat box. Your questions make this show more interesting. Focus, of course, is on futures, but I'm willing to answer just about anything to a certain point, right? Depending on what your question is, of course. All right. So, there's gold. We've been looking at gold here. Right. So, we have our level there, that 130. I have that. I don't show it on this. Let me switch to my MGC here. I know I have more lines on that right now. Micro gold, same chart. It's just I got different lines on it. That's all. I have these gold levels. That's why I wanted to switch without having to draw new ones. So I have a gold level around the 130 mark, the 125.6 mark, and the 120. As you can see, it just doesn't want to break above that 130. It's done it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times and only broke through twice temporarily, and then it kicked right back. And you can see some other levels. I have these dash lines. I was playing this channel here for a little bit today, making some money using my large account. So I did pretty good there also on the downhill and on some of the upswings. And in this channel here, these dash lines was a channel that it was trading in earlier. Made a few bucks trading that also, in and out, in and out. Hey Trenton, how's it going over there on YouTube? Does the L2 help with days like this? The L2 helps every day. I love using the L2. You don't see it here on my screen because I don't have it set up for that. But yes, I live and breathe the L2, especially once I'm in a trade. I'll be looking for trades before I go in to see how, maybe if there's some large orders that may want to pull it down, but more especially once I'm in the trade, I'll kind of keep an side eye on it, and it might help me make a decision whether to stay in the trade or get out of the trade a little sooner than expected if I want to lock in my profits. So again, I get faked out by the L2 sometimes because those orders are not firm orders, they're limit orders. They are in there, they haven't been filled yet, so they can be canceled altogether, increased, decreased, moved up, moved down, moved all around, and if you're not careful, you can get caught up in that sometimes. Usually about once a day I get snookered. I'll be in something and see a big order there, and I'll hang on, and the next thing you know, they yank that order out, and bad things happen. So you end up losing money. So it's not something that you should hang your hat on, but I kind of do. I depend on it. It's just another tool in my trading toolbox. You do not have to have the L2, especially if you have an effective chart. If I have levels charted, I don't need the L2. All I need to do is watch my candles and trade between my key levels that I have on my chart. Why? Because the key levels represent the same thing the L2 does. You'll see if you get good lines on your charts, and we teach you how to do that here at American Dream Trading as part of your paid membership, then you don't really need the L2. Matter of fact, I traded a whole year, didn't even know what an L2 was. I was trading stock options and trading the trade, right? Trading the trade that's in front of me and going off my key levels. Did just fine. And then I learned how to use L2, and then it helped even more up my game a little bit. Not required though. Time to go. A smart algo? No, we don't have smart algorithms here. We're not selling you any bots or any of that. We're training and education. Bots, if bots worked, would you not be a millionaire? Would you not be a billionaire? Would the person sell them to you not be a billionaire? Right? So if people are offering you bots, if bots worked, everybody would be in the stock market and everybody would be multimillionaires, and that's not the case. People can claim whatever they want. As some on the interwebs have found out in major lawsuits from customers, they don't work, right? So they make all the promises you want on the internet. Doesn't mean they're right or they're true or they work, right? Go take some baking soda. That'll help your health in certain ways, right? How many guys watch that stupid video, right? I've seen it. I don't know what it's about, but I can guess, right? So interwebs, the internets, the social medias are all full of people looking to make a buck off of somebody else's ignorance. Would it not be better to learn how to actually trade? What is a good trade? What's a good trade look like? When should I get in a trade? When should I get out of the trade? When should I avoid a trade and sit on my hands altogether? Right? We teach you all those things. We are the largest training and education group in the entire internet, in the entire universe, not just the galaxy, the universe. There's none other like us. We have one of the largest communities of our kind on the interwebs, as I call them. Let me wet my whistle. I'm still fighting this sinus thing. Just doesn't want to go away all the way. Now, what you do see on my chart, if you want to call them a form of a logarithm, you could, I guess. They're not. But the logarithm is a predictive thing, correct? But I do have things that help me make better decisions. I have historical levels on my chart. I have gold levels. See all my lines I have on my chart here, right? I know where these things buy and sell at on average, right? Historically. I have gold levels, which I've given even stronger significance to. As you can see, this gold level here that I've had on my chart, look how many times it's rejected off there. If it breaks through, it doesn't want to break hold of it, away from it. I also have indicators. I have the 9 EMA, the 21, the 55. There's the 200, and VWAP is hiding here somewhere. Where is VWAP? VWAP, where are you? Don't know. It's hiding here somewhere. Oh, there it is, all the way up here. 237. VWAP is the strongest indicator. If you only have one indicator on your chart, you should have VWAP on there. Because why? Because the entire world uses VWAP. And, you know, whatever one you want to use is up to you. We just use the 9, the 21, and the 55. Some people use the 50s. Some people use 3s or 5s. It's up to you. We've found that this works for us, works for me. I know it does because I use it every day. It's a little bit more conservative than like a 5 EMA that some scalpers may use, just shorter term. So what does this mean, a 9 EMA? That means this is measuring the last 9 candles on my chart based on the time that I have on. This is a 1-minute chart, so it's going to count the last 9 candles, which would represent 9 minutes. If I was on a 2-minute chart, it still measures the last 9 candles, but that represents 18 minutes in time, and so on and so forth. And then it takes that and does the average pricing and all that, and then it draws a line, and this line's always adjusting as the price moves, right? Gives me a short-term trend of what the pricing's doing, and I base my entries off the 9 personally. Then we have the 21, which is another strong indicator, right? It's a little bit longer, does 21 candles. Then you have the 55. Again, some people use the 50. We go with the 55, just a little bit more conservative, that's all. A lot of institutions use the 50. You use however you want, but this is what we use here at American Dream Trading that we found that works. It's not too reactive, but yet it's not underreactive, if you know what I mean, right? It's kind of, you know, like the 3 bears, this bed's just right, you know, kind of thing for us. And I successfully trade every single day using it, as does our members. So it's not on a logarithm, but this is by the way, our paid members get this Coaches 3.0 indicators. That's what these are. This is an overlay for TradingView. Now, what you see on my screen is TradingView. Now, we're not associated with TradingView in any way. It's the largest, I'm going to just say it. It's probably keyword there, disclaimer, probably the largest independent charting software out there for traders. I love it personally. It is a subscription-based program. Has nothing to do with American Dream Trading. You can go to tradingview.com, check it out. They have roughly, it's about $15 a month for the low-end plan, which is sufficient for most of your needs. If you find it isn't, you can always upgrade, you know, or downgrade as far as that goes. So, and if you have that, then with your paid membership, if you're a VIP Gold, Diamond, or Futures members, these indicators come with their membership. Very effective tool. Makes me a lot of money. Results not guaranteed or implied. But once you know how to use them, this is telling me a whole lot of information here. And I can decide within fractions of a second mentally by just looking at these visually whether I want to enter this trade or not, or do I want to wait. Or in a matter of seconds, I can determine what my entry criteria would be for entering to the upside, or what is my entry criteria for entering to the downside based on what I see on my chart. And all these things tell a big story. It's like a novel. But in a matter of seconds, I can interpret this model, this novel of information, and make a decision. And sometimes I will flip to one. I'm like, oh, I'm jumping in that right now. I've done that. I don't like doing that because usually I like to give myself a few seconds to really evaluate it well, right? Sometimes when you just glance at something for a second, you miss out on some critical information, and that does happen to me once in a while. So I try to resist doing that. Thank you for the follows over there, Sammy, and Time to Go, and ADT Coach. Hey, everyone. Good to see you, Coach. Over there, that's the real Coach who owns this show. This is his baby. He's been doing this. We've been incorporated business for 5 years, and he's been live every day for well over 3 years now. I've been with AT&T. This is my 3rd year. This is my full-time vocation. This is how I generate income for my family. This is how I make my house payment, my car payment, my insurance, my food, my groceries, my insurances. Now, again, I don't have some of those things now, but you catch my drift, right? Meets my daily needs. I know what my budget is. I know how much I need to make in a day on average. Some days I do, some days I don't. Well, most days I do. I've had a couple recently where I've been green, but didn't meet my goal, but that's okay. I was green anyway. I haven't had a red day in forever, so I do have red trades. today. I've had 2 red trades today. Well, three red trades today. But I've had more green trades than I've had red trades. So therefore, my bank account is larger than it was when I started my day, and that's the goal each and every day. Doesn't matter what the amount is, as long as it's larger than when you started the day out. That's a successful day, right? Whether that's $1 or $1 million. So YM is come back down here to this level. I don't have a line here, but you can see these little micro tops down here, right? The levels. Now I can pop a line right there. You can see though, straight across where the tops of these and bottoms of these candles are at. Come down there, touch that level and reject it and bounce back up on it. Oh, by the way, you will see random numbers being typed into the TikTok chat, just so you know that TikTok wants you to type in there, and I forget half the time. So whenever you see random numbers, that is me. That's not Coach himself. We do share the same corporate account. So if you see random numbers being typed, they don't mean a thing other than I'm telling TikTok I'm typing in the chat box. Yesterday, for some reason, man, I was getting restriction warnings. You're restricted for 10 minutes for violation. And I was like, I didn't do any violations I was aware of. So, but anyway, it's neither here nor there. It's their software. They can do what they want. So, questions, comments?
Hello, Mark. Hello, everybody.
Hello. What's happening?
Trying to organize everything in my brain.
Okay.
Wish me luck.
Can I help you with that?
I don't know, Mark. Maybe.
Okay. What question do you have?
Where did you start when you became a moderator?
I started by showing up every single day for 12 hours plus a day, sometimes 16 hours a day. Just started out. Now, I didn't start out the way Coach teaches us. He tells you, what's he tell you to start with when you start trading? He tells you to start with stocks. Well, I was smarter than Coach. I wasn't starting with no stinking stocks. I went straight to stock option because they were sexy. And look at the money you can make in a matter of minutes, right? Because I is smarter than Coach. I don't need to listen to that guy. All right? That's my membership. I'll do what I want to do. I don't need nobody telling me what to do. Well, guess what? Yes, I was successful my first year in spite of that. But I also threw away a lot of money during that first year. If I could only have that back, you know? We all say that, right? If only. If I'd only listened, right? And you learn those lessons the hard way. And I tried to instill that in new members. Please listen. I didn't. And it makes your road traveled a lot harder, right? You're walking uphill too much. So yes, you do need to focus on learning the basics. First of all, you shouldn't be trading at all with real money, nor should you even have a funded account. We highly recommend when you join American Dream Trading as a paid member that you don't even get a funded account. You don't need one. Why? Because you're learning. You don't know what you're doing yet. You can't just go throw, we do have people to come in and just start throwing money at stuff. That's not a way to learn. That's a way to go broke. We cannot legally offer any guarantees here at American Dream Trading. But I will offer you this one guarantee, that if you don't listen to the sound of Coach's voice and do things the way he highly recommends and follow his rules, you will bankrupt yourself. You will wreck your account and be done. And then you'll end up saying, I tried that day trading once and it didn't work, right? No, it works. We got 10,000, I don't know how many members we got. Let's just say we got 10,000 plus people in our group, right? Do we have people fail every day? We certainly do. And if you go ask them why, it's because they didn't listen to Coach's rules. It's because they didn't start out trading stocks. They didn't learn the basics. They didn't take the time. I was very successful my first year and ever since then. However, I would have been more highly successful had I listened to Coach and started out by trading stocks and doing that. It wasn't until probably, I don't know, I'm just making up a number, 6 or 8 months into it that I actually started getting into the pre-market and trading pre-market stocks, that I actually started trading stocks. And even that's debatable if you want to call that trading stocks, because it's really penny stocks and it's just momentum trading, getting in, getting out. Wasn't no managing it, in the long term throughout the whole day type of thing. So, you know, a guy that's a skilled brain surgeon didn't just start out with brain surgery 101, did he? He had to start out by being a general doctor, right? Going to med school and doing all the basics, right? How to stick a needle in somebody's arm, all those things, right? To be a doctor, a regular doctor, and then you advance to more advanced things, right? You don't get a 4-year college degree by starting out on, physics 600. No, you start out on physics 101, right? You got to start somewhere, and you need to learn the basics. Why is that? Because it builds an effective foundation that you can build on, right? If you tried to build, I'll give you a little biblical story. The guy that tried to build his house on the sand, what happened, right? Came in and washed away. But if you build your training and skills on a strong foundation of rock, it's going to last forever, right? And it won't crumble when things go against you as much, right? So you need to build that foundation. You need to build upon the foundation, put it brick by brick, layer by layer, precept upon precept, skills upon skills, and you learn them over time. It doesn't happen overnight. How long does it take? Depends on you, right? We've had one member came in here years ago, made $1 million in his first month. Have we seen anybody do that since? No, not that I'm aware of. If they have, they haven't said anything other than the one person, right? And that person, for whatever reason, just took to it like a duck to water and trusted everything the coach said and his teaching and his principles, and bam, $1 million his first month. I think the last count he was well over 30-some million. We haven't heard from him in a long time because he's living life, right? He's got a young family and living life. And we've had other people, coaches.
Actually, Mark, what I was referencing was when the world of being a moderator and all the responsibilities opened up to you, Discord and such.
Well, I just started helping out, right? Asking questions and answering questions. I was doing the things without being asked, right? Coach isn't looking, coach is looking for people that are already doing the kind of doing the job without doing the job, right? You know what I mean? And showing up every day, being active, being vocal, helping out where you can, answering questions in the chats and verbally. You don't have to be an expert, right? By God, I'm not an expert, right? I'm no expert on cash covered calls or all those kind of intricate things, but we have people that are. But I would be able to answer the questions that I knew how to answer, right? It's not that I don't understand it, I can't explain those principles. It's just I don't practice them personally, and I don't feel comfortable, going into any detail how to do something if I'm not an active participant. You know what I mean? But yeah, just be active, be there, be present.
You're making it really hard for me to pick at you, Mark.
Why?
Because you just going right along with it.
Yeah, well, I mean,
we do have a question in YouTube. I don't know if you got to it or not. Trenton Thomas was asking if the L2 helps with days like this.
Yeah, I did answer that. It helps every day with it. I talked about how I used it. Yeah. You don't have to.
Congratulations on becoming a mod, James.
Thank you, Ralph.
Yeah.
So, yeah, just showing up, answering questions you can answer, right?
Oh, yeah.
Do you know what an iron condor is? Can you explain it? Well, neither can I, so don't feel bad. But I can answer all kinds of stuff about futures and stocks and regular stock options. I know what a covered call is. I've done a couple of them, but I've only done a couple of them. Do I want to teach on it? No, I don't. Can I get by and teach it on the basics of it? Yeah, I could, but I don't because there's other people, other members even that aren't moderators that are more qualified to talk on those things. And I recognize, what I know and what I don't, right? And I play on them. Same way with trading futures here, right? I learned how to do all this from Coach, and he didn't teach me how to trade futures per se. Well, what did he teach me? He taught me how to trade stocks. He taught me how to trade stock options. Well, guess what? All those principles apply to trading futures. All the skills, how to chart, how to read a chart, how to know what a good trade looks like, when to get in a trade, when to get out of a trade, how to draw lines on my chart, how to use my indicators, put them on my chart. What do they mean in correlation to each other? Where do I, what are the different trading strategies, 2-minute EWO and scalping and, breaks and holds and there's all kinds of different, in channel trading, there's all kinds of trading strategies. And guess what? Every single one of them apply to trading futures. Guess what? Every one of them apply to trading crypto. Guess what? Every one of them apply to trading stock options. Guess what? Every one of those apply to trading stocks. Guess what? All of them apply to trading bonds. Guess what? It applies to anything, right? A chart's a chart. Once you get it good and know how to do it, you can pretty much go in and trade anything in a minute's notice. Is there different lingo you got to learn between them? Yes, right? Is there some minor tweaks you might have to do with your stops? Yes, okay? But everything else is the same. So Coach educated me on how to trade futures without teaching me how to trade futures, because he taught me all those things. He laid the foundation in my life to be able to do what I'm now doing in futures. I came in here, that first 5 minutes, I'm like, dang, I know how to do this, right? And it wasn't because Coach taught me how to trade futures specifically, right? Did I have to learn a few things? Yeah, I did. I had to learn about stops. That was the hardest thing, figure out where I wanted to put our stops. It was a new program, in our community. And so we had to learn some stuff on our own, right? And Coach did educate us along the way about things about futures. And other members that had experience already with futures helped out also. So a lot of hands, many people helping out, right? People helping people. And that's what's great about our community, right? You and I may not be able to teach what an iron condor is and when do we use it, and why do we use it, how do we use it, and all that. But I guarantee you, we got 500 other members that could do that, correct? And they don't have to be a moderator.
Yes, sir.
We have moderators that know how to explain it, right? But just being a moderator doesn't mean you can't teach somebody something, right? I learned stuff from my members in here in the futures every single day. They'll ask a question I don't know the answer to maybe, and I'll have to go find the answer. Or, they'll say something that reinforces one of Coach's teaching in my brain that I need to reel in, right? Freddie tried to tell me not to trade again, told me not to overtrade, and I did anyway, and I had a red trade because he wasn't strong enough in his conviction telling me not to trade. So it's actually what I say, Freddie, Esteban's fault. That I took the red trade. He wasn't very mean about it. He was nice when he said and told me not to do it. So it's his fault, not my fault.
Yeah, I told you, but I didn't hold you, right?
Yeah, see? No, it was my fault, right? And then on top of it, it was a dumb trade the next one I took. It wasn't even a good entry. It's things even just something simple as, hey, did you have a green day? Well, call it a day. Enjoy your success, right? Just those little things like that, right? Did I give up money? Yeah. Am I still way ahead? Yeah, but I could have had that extra money, right? That I gave away unneedlessly over a couple-minute trade. So that's why we ask people to ask questions, because your question helps at least 10 other people who had the same question, right? So, all right. You can't handle the truth. Over there on TikTok, joined months ago with a diamond, made $5,000. Well, that paid for your diamond, huh? Then a fluke, then you got hit by a car. How? Now you're ready to start on over and forgot how. Well, take your time, right? You want to start slow, get back into paper trading. Do not be trading real money. You got to get back in the saddle again, get your groove on, right? Take your time. So, you got all the time here to learn how to trade. Now, what were you trading with your diamond when you decided to step out in front of a car? Right? So you just go back to that, right? Don't be coming in here and start throwing, well, I'm going to make $1,000 a day. Oh, you're on a bike? Okay. Well, same difference. Stocks. Okay, well, that's where you need to go back to, stocks. This is futures. You got to go back and get back on that horse, trading stocks, get comfortable in your own skin again. You already know what you know, right? You just need to go back and start doing that. You can show up in the pre-market, right? Starting at 4 a.m. We start training and trading there. Live Zoom call for Diamond members, VIP Gold, VIP members, 4 a.m. Eastern time. Go back in there. Stay in the premium lounges with Coach and the other training moderators, learning more, getting your psyche back into the groove of things, getting your line of thought in place. But start back, go right back to stocks. Don't try to do anything else. Just start over like you did, right? Even though you're starting over per se, you're not really, right? It'll come back to you. It's like riding a bike, other than when you're on one and you get hit by a car. You don't forget how to ever ride a bike, right? You may be a little wobbly if you don't ride one for 20 years, to get back on it that first time. But you'll get it. Your progression will skyrocket once you get it back. So I'm not concerned about that. So, but go back to your roots. Go back to trading nothing but stocks. So tomorrow morning at 4 a.m. if you're able to do that in the chat there, the live Zoom training, right? And speaking of which, we do offer live Zoom training for stocks and stock options. And as such, with our premium membership, which starts with Coach and the other training moderators at 8:45 a.m. Eastern Time, Monday through Friday, you can get an absolutely free 7-day trial by going to our website at American Dream Trading. We also have the crypto for they do Wednesday night trainings at 7:15 Eastern Time. And we also have the futures, is what you're watching today. We start training and trading
Gold
live
broke
on
through
the
the
live
level.
Zoom call. I see gold's trying to break back into my little channel that I was trading in earlier. Hang on here. I'm going to go against one of my own rules here. I want to see what this is going to do real quick. What did that say? 40? Did that say 40? Did that say 40 to the upside? Is that what that said? Yeah, that one didn't start on the shoulder of the previous candle. I'm not interested until it does that. It is broke up in my area that I was trading in earlier today. I was doing a little quickie scalps. I just didn't erase these lines. It's not an official, thing here, but I'm waiting for this to break and hold above this. Get this here on the, and it's kind of petering out here. Yeah, doesn't have enough up there to convince me it wants to go up. It may, right? See what I'm talking about? I want to see the next candle start on the shoulder of the previous candle, so it stair steps up. There's more strength. See how this one here started and went up, and then the next one didn't, right? It didn't start on the shoulder, and it went down. Now, it doesn't mean it's going to go down or up one way or the other, but it's a stronger trade if you can catch the candle starting on the shoulder of the previous. In other words, it starts at the same price the other one finished. And you get that, and you tend to have that. Now, this one didn't start. See how it pulled back? Now, this can still turn green, and it may very well turn green. But right now, does that give you any confidence it wants to go up higher at this point? Nope. I don't see any oomph. I don't see any volume. I don't see any indicator that it wants to do that. Could that change in a second? It most certainly can. But right now, nah. Right? So, and I was trading in this channel earlier today back here. I don't know why. I just never erased them lines. I was waiting for it to, what I was waiting on was it to break through and get down in there. And then I did some of these scalps here in this channel here. I specifically waited for it to break into that channel there. I was just sitting there waiting patiently. Matter of fact, I missed the first one. I looked away and it went wham, went right through there. I had to catch it. And I channel traded that for a little bit. It's a very narrow channel. It's only about $5, $4, something like that. 5 points. But that's, it's 40 ticks. That's $40 a contract, right? So it's well worth it to jump in and out of there multiple times, right? Financially beneficial. So here I am trying that again. We've been waiting for a long time. See how it's not wanted to, even though I have this line drawn here, it actually is kind of a good level because look where these other candles come up and hit, rejected off there. This time it hit and rejected and the next candle broke through. But I wanted to jump in and that's what he called out about it's going up in that next level there. But it did not do it with confidence. So they still don't really want to move it up there. And this is metals and I don't particularly care. I mean, I love trading gold. It's my jam. That and NQs is my two favorite right now. More so gold. That's all I traded. Well, I traded gold all day, and I did one trade in the Dow. Actually, the Dow was the trade of the day. As I mentioned earlier, we did an exercise. We've been talking about it. They talk about it all the time, trading stocks and stock options. And we talked about the first 15-minute candle of the day, the trading day. You take a look at it. If it's higher than the pre-market high, well, that may be an indicative that the market may have an uptrend to it, or if it's lower than the pre-market highs, then it might be a downtrend. Well, every single one of our futures that we looked at, and we didn't look at every single one, but our main ones that we trade, they were all down. They all indicated down except for the Dow. And the Dow took off like a rocket. Once the market got moving, you could have got in that trade and stayed in it. Look at it. While everything else was going down the toilet or being choppy, if you go back and look at ES and NQ, they dropped it, man. They were a very volatile, choppy mess. It wasn't a purdy trade. But look at this. Those are the things that are dreamed of here, right? Look at that. Isn't that a beautiful chart, right? And this was the only one The Dow was the only one on that 15-minute candle rule that did it. I mean, they all did what they said, but this was the only one that at that time said it was positive, right? And the members asked, well, does this apply to futures? I said, well, yeah, we'll prove it out. So we're going to be doing this as a daily little exercise here for the next week, just so people know it, right? Is it something you need to do? Well, you get these kids on the internet, like you say, you get these kids on TikTok, they think they discovered some new trading strategy. No, it's nothing new under the sun. It's just another thing that you can look at, right? And on top of it, it's not a guarantee either. There's no one trading strategy that's 100% guaranteed. Coach has developed a 2-minute EWO trading strategy based on his 33 years in the market. Does it work 100% of the time? Absolutely not. But it's the one to hang your hat on, because more often than times than it does, right? Now, I'm not going to go, I could tell you what the percentage we found in real life trading with thousands of trades, how often it does work. And it's running around 75%. But even that means 25% of the time it doesn't work, right? Nothing works. I don't care. You can use the Fibonacci retracement. We don't use it. We don't even really talk about it. Does it have a value? Yeah, probably, right? But Coach has tried them all over the years, and he's kind of tried to make it as simple as possible. The way he teaches things, his trading strategies, we don't even use that. Can you use it? Yeah. Does it have value? Probably. Does it work? Probably, right? I don't use it. I know what it looks like. I understand the gist of it. It's just levels, key levels, basically, is what it is. I already have them drawn on my chart. Doesn't mean that it doesn't work. It's just that we choose not to use all those. We try to cut through all the fluff and get down to the basics, keep it simple strategy, right? And you'll find that you're not suffering from analysis paralysis, looking at all these goofy things on your chart. Right now I got 100 lines on my chart that don't need to be there, but I haven't taken the time to erase them yet. So I got to reset my charts, and because I add lines while I'm in the trade, and that's after a while. If you look at my gold, this is crazy. Look at all them lines I got on there. I can assure you that I don't need 3/4 of them lines on there, right? But I tend to draw lines, especially when I'm in a 1 minute. If I keep seeing hit, let's just say this here, these are just temporary. That's why I got them dashed there. But look how it's hanging there. So that would be a good level, actually, would it not? So I end up drawing all these lines as I go along because, once the day goes on and you get over here, well, now guess what? You don't see the candles visually unless you keep scrolling backwards, which you should throughout the day. But then I just draw all these lines and I get, eventually you have so many lines, none of them mean anything. You know what I mean? So you just get overkill. So you need to go back here periodically and clean up your charts. And once you learn how to do it, it literally doesn't take 5 minutes to do a chart from scratch, erase everything. I could demonstrate that here live right now and show you the same thing. I guarantee you under 5 minutes, I have a fully functional chart with key levels marked on it, right? You want to learn how to do that, come on over here to American Dream Trading. We'll show you, right? You look at Coach's charts, you don't see 1,000 lines on his charts, do you? When he's live 9 to 11. He's got VWAP and maybe the 200, but that's about all he uses. He doesn't, he's said it hundreds of times. If you had to just pick one, it'd be VWAP. Trade above it, short it below it, right? All right. Let's see here. Let's go back and scroll through questions. Ever think about opening my own YouTube channel? Why would I want to do that? Why would I want that headache? I'm part of American Dream Trading, man. I bleed it. You cut my vein, it's going to bleed ADT. My blood type is ADT. Right? I live and breathe and think about ADT 24 hours a day. Only time I don't think about it is when I'm unconscious. And even then I dream about trading. Right? As my wife says, I'm addicted. I spend too much time in front of the computer, according to her. Well, she's not wrong, but it is what it is. Keeps the lights on. No, absolutely not. Why would I want to do that? I already got a great mentor. What am I going to do, right? I need Coach. I learn new things from him every day. And other moderators and other members. We have one of the world's greatest community here. Why am I not trading this gold to the downside is what I want to know. Why is that? Oh, because I'm talking, and I don't normally trade my live account while I'm talking, and it's coming down to this gold level. Now, if I come down to this gold level at 120, I'm just going to tell you, Mark's going to stop talking for a few minutes. That's all I can say about that. All right? You'll just have to stare at this screen here. If this breaks and holds below 120, there's a wall right now literally at 120. So that tells you that my gold level that I have there at 120 is a bona fide level, because that's where all the L2 orders are stacked up right now at 120. If it can break and hold below that, watch out. You know, I'm not guaranteeing you what may happen, but I would look for a larger than normal pull below that level. We'll see what happens. And again, that can be changed. Anybody can throw in things there. So we're watching paint dry here. I definitely want to see this break below this gold line on my chart right here. This here. If this can break here, I'd look for a pull. You can see how strong of a level this is earlier, right? See all this bouncing around here, right? And it has broke through there a few times. Doesn't mean it's going to go clear to the basement. You don't never know how low is low or how high is high. There I am taking my eye off of it. It is breaking it. Had it's not broken, held below that level, I am waiting for a literal break and a hold. In other words, the next candle stacked on the shoulder of the one that breaks through, just like this, see? Shoulder, strength, shoulder, strength, shoulder, strength, shoulder, strength, shoulder, strength. Now you think I want to wait for the shoulder or what? You tell me. So that's why I'm waiting on the break and hold on the critical level. To me, 120, 4,120, I'm just saying the last digits if you haven't caught on already, is a critical level. And what did it do? Did it break through that level? Well, yeah, it did, but it didn't stay below it, right? You always have wicks and bodies. Nothing ever usually stops exactly on your line. Sometimes it does to the penny. And again, I'm not real anal about, scrolling in real tight and getting it to the exact penny. All I know is as this approaches this, I got to be careful. It's a point of decision is what I like to call it, right? All right. Andrew, yeah, I appreciate your opinion, but you're off base there, buddy. So, thank you. We all have, and that's what makes American Dream Trading great, right? I can explain something and be 100% correct in the way I'm explaining it. Ralph can come in and explain something and be 100% accurate in how he's explaining a principle. Doug could come in here and explain the exact same thing and be 100% correct in the way he explains it, but yet we all may use slightly different words in how we present things. And you may not understand a word I said or Ralph said, but the way Doug said it, there was just a couple key words that clicks in your brain and the light bulb comes on, la la, and we look at each other and we're like, well, didn't me and Ralph just say the same thing? Well, we kind of did, but we used different words in how we went about in teaching something. So that's what makes our community great. We have a lot of people who know what they're talking about. They're highly trained by Coach, right? And, I'm sure even sometimes the way Coach explains something, he may explain something and one of the other moderators will say the same thing an hour later to somebody, that same person, and the light bulb, oh, that's a great revelation. Well, Coach just said the same thing an hour ago, right? And that's not a knock on anybody. That's just sometimes a different word or two will turn that switch on, flip that switch on in your brain. That's just pure psychology. That's a real thing, right? Different people have different ways of explaining the same principle, right? So that's what's great about us. We have a lot of good training moderators here at American Dream Trading. We have Coach as the ultimate trainer, right? And teacher. And that's where everything comes out of my pie hole. Hopefully I learn from Coach, right? I try to do my best to maintain those levels of integrity that he teaches us every single day. So anyway, I got disappointed down there at the bottom at that 120. I was really hoping, there was a couple other times today, I was hoping it would break through there and really drive more to the downside, but yeah, life's full of disappointments. You move on, right? Now, I could have played that bounce off of that because that was a critical level, and I could have played it up to this gold level, which is what I would have done, and then I would play it from here to the next gold level. Now I got some indicators in the road now, but that's beside the point. So while I was talking, I missed out on the opportunity. Instead of playing it to the downside, I could have played the bounce to the upside. So you got to be on your toes and thinking about what you're doing. And that's another reason I don't trade my real count normally while I'm talking, because for that very reason. So I missed an opportunity here to get it on the break and the hold of the 9, which is the principle that I hang my hat on that Coach teaches, one of many, right? I'm a big proponent of the 2-minute EWO, but I don't actually practice it anymore. I did nothing but it first year. Worked so well, I quit doing it. But now I'm more of a break and hold of the 9 because I'm a scalper. It gives me an entry point to get in. Again, I'm looking at the big picture also. I'm not just blindly jumping in. any more than I'd blindly jump into a 2-minute EWO strategy. You got to look at the big picture, what's going on. And we teach you how to do all that stuff. Head on over to our website, American Dream Trading. There's a click here at the button, big old button, you can't miss it. Click our memberships. We have the 3 7-day trial programs you can join. Premium training and trading starting with Coach at 8:45. You have the crypto, which is 7:15 on Wednesday nights. And then you have the futures, which starts at 8:30 every morning. You don't have this delay like you have with these free lives. And let's face it, these free lives, you're only going to learn so much, right? Discord, I forgot to go back and answer that question. You can't handle the truth. I assume you're going to be on Discord. Yeah, go back into Discord also. Back in and say hi to everybody. Let them know you're there, you're back. Tell them what your plans are, what your goals are. You should have a roadmap laid out for yourself since you're coming back, by the way. Right? And work that plan, right? Plan to plan and work to plan. Don't get the cart before the horse. Take your time. You didn't learn what you know already by jumping in all over the place. So, all right, good. All right. Yeah, go in there and say hi. People may not remember you. Esteban, thank you for that follow. The host. And John, hello. Fan Fabs, thank you for the follows. Anastasia, thank you for joining. All right. So, all right. I'll tell you what, Andrew, I'll go ahead and start my own thing and I'll charge $45,000 a year. How's that? You want to be my first member? You want me to go over and be my own person? You tell me that and write me a check. I'll go over and start my own thing just for you. No, I won't. Ain't no way. I'm already part of a good program. I don't even watch other people on the interwebs. I don't. I really don't. Is there other good people out there? Sure there is, right? Is there a bunch of people that don't want their rear end from a light bulb? Yeah, there's a lot of them too. I'm not going to badmouth anybody. I never will. They can do whatever they want. No skin off my teeth, right? Off my back, right? Just be careful who you listen to, right? Prove it, especially people say, oh, my win ratio is da-da-da-da-da. Well, my trading ratio today is 80%. I'm the world's greatest trader. Follow me, right? Yeah, when you start watching 8 people different during a day, what are you hearing? You're hearing 8 different trading philosophies. Which one are you going to follow, right? You should pick one you like and stick with it, right? I'm not going to, name names, who's good and who's not, because there's plenty of people out there that want to tear other people down, right? I'm not that way. Those people have black hearts. They can't do a good enough job on their own. They have to tear others down and call them everything from scammers to they don't know what they're talking about, whatever, right? And it is what it is. That's part of social media. When you enter that space, those are the things you have to deal with. But I don't even watch any. There's one guy I like watching in particular. I like his style. Occasionally, I'll watch one of his YouTube channels. Once in a very blue moon, if it pops up by, random. But even then, I don't sit there and watch the whole thing. But I like his style. I like what he says, right? And he's very on base with what he says. But I don't watch him. I don't have time for that. I'm here 12 hours a day. I've got enough time for myself and what Coach is teaching and listening to everything else our moderators teach. Everything that we teach, our paid members have access to those recordings. That's the benefits of paid membership. You can go back and watch them anytime. Matter of fact, Dawn was sharing it in the pre-market this morning. Palm Coast had a very nice teaching on a 5-day charting and what it's good for, right? And she played. I didn't get to watch the whole thing, but she played the whole thing, and it was very interesting. I'm going to go back and make it. Well, not tonight. I can't. I got rehearsal tonight, but I'm going to go back and watch that because what little I did see, it opened my eyes about some things. So just in a matter of probably 30 seconds of listening, I'm like, oh, that makes sense. I can use that in my trading. So I'm going to go back. My intention is to go back and see what he was talking about there when I blank out my charts maybe this weekend if I get time or whenever. Or get up early and do it. I need to do it soon because I got too many daggone lines on my charts. But I'm going to incorporate some of the couple things that I saw him talking about, right? Is that a new principle under the sun? No, it's not. There's nothing new under the sun. It's just people repackaging things, right? And the thing that Palm was talking about, I mean, you can go look at a 5-day chart, right? You can look at all kinds of things. And there's different principles and strategies and reasonings behind them, logic behind these things, right? Just like I said about the Fibonacci. You know, you get people who love the Fibonacci. Oh, good for you. Were we going to teach it? No. Are we going to answer your questions and support you on it? No. Why? Because we have our own indicators that we're using here and we know works. Doesn't mean that it's garbage, right? It's got to have some validity to it or people wouldn't talk about it, right? So, but that's not what we do. We have what we do, and what we do works for us. It works for me. I got the bank account to prove that it works for me. I've been doing this for 3 years. If it didn't work, you think I wouldn't have failed in some time during that 3 years? You know what I mean? Right? So I don't really have a need or feel a need or have an emptiness in my heart to go pursue other things, right? Now I do read books, right? I do read, right? I read news and I read things, right? But I'm not following other people. I'm not saying you can do whatever you want, but the more things you put in your brain, the more convoluted things will get, right? Nothing else, you might even mix up the strategies from us and from them, right? Right, and then you wonder why it don't work. So pick somebody, pick a lane and stay in it. That's my opinion, right? He did using a 5-day chart there, Ken. It's in the Discord under videos on demand, I believe. It's called the 5-day charting or something to that effect. Go look at video on demands. It should be one of the more recent ones. It was just recently posted, so you shouldn't have any trouble finding it. Very interesting. Palm is an excellent trainer and teacher. You can take things and make them very understandable. And that's one of the things if I miss anything by being a moderator and being a part of the Futures program, is I miss out on all that extra quality education that Palm and Richard and Coach and all the other moderators, Bruno and Don, everybody over there, right, that they teach. So I'm kind of stuck watching the videos, which is nothing wrong with that. It's just not quite the same, right? Plus, I wasn't there to ask a question if I happen to have one. So, and you know me, I always got questions. So, but that is there for me to take advantage of. I can do that anytime I want, and I will be looking at that one. I'm glad she played that today. I heard people talking about it, but that was the first time I saw it in real time. So anyway, Robin, thanks for joining us today. Felix, thanks for your follows. And Fan Fabs for your follows. Anyway, good. Any other questions? Any questions you have, type them down there in your chat box, and we'll do our best to try to answer them in real time, live. And I'll even give you a shout out for that as time allows. And that's part of the problem with these lives. You don't really, somebody will ask a question in our live training, and the training will go on 15 minutes, half hour, an hour sometimes, depending on what the subject matter is. Because the moderators that are teaching in there want to make sure that you get your question answered to your satisfaction and in a manner that you understand the principles being taught, right? It's no good to rattle off a bunch of statistics if they don't mean a thing to you, right? So we try different ways of educating people, and if you don't understand it, let us know, and we'll try to explain it a different way, and we do. That's what makes this group amazing. Different training styles and methods, right? So I'll tell you what, just taking Coach out of the picture, Palm Coast alone's worth the membership. He's a moderator, just a moderator. Highly successful trader, right? He's really grown. I mean, he was successful before he came here, but he's even more successful because of coming here now, right? He's taken his trading to a whole different level, right? And on top of it, he's a beautiful individual. I've met him personally in Miami when we was down there for a get-together, a meet and greet kind of thing we had. And there's that gold. Why can't this gold's just aggravating me. It can't just stair step up. It's got to have them ginormous gamma candles breaking through the levels. It's done that to me about 4 times today. Drives me nuts. Stair step up so I have time to prepare for you breaking up through that level, right? Because then you get a big gamma candle. What do we expect members on when we get a large gamma candle?
50% retracement.
There you go. 50% retracement. So there's that candle. That one there looks like it's going to get an 80% retracement, right? See how that pulled back? Because why? Because when you get those large candles, everybody's got, oh, look at all the money I just made. I had that happen to me today. I was in one that got a huge gamma candle. I mean, what did I make on that? 140, 150 bucks on one candle, right? Just because I happened to be in it, and then it went zhoosh, right? And like, wee! And then I started counting my money and then missed the retracement part of it. So that's, again, not having my head in the game, right? Got caught by surprise on that. So it was a nice little one candle trade and basically took my money and got out. So yes, I missed that live interaction, but I also have the video recordings because I am a member, right? And I can go back and watch them anytime. And you can do that too. Especially, if you have a busy work schedule, if you're doing a 9 to 5, you can't catch everything that goes on. Those resources are available to you. Membership has its privileges, and I will not apologize for that. You can check out all our membership packages at American Dream Trading right now. Get over there. When you're there, grab our free Discord. Once you register in our absolutely free Discord, it always has been free, always will be free. You can interact with other members of American Dream Trading. Absolutely free. You don't even have to be a paid member to have our free Discord. Right? Or if you're ever in a membership and you cancel it down the road sometime, you still can keep the Discord, right? So here I am diddling in the middle. I want to see a break and hold above this 200 before I decide to enter. Okay? I don't want to jump in here yet. I want to wait and see. So, basically what I'm looking is kind of like from here to here, right? I want to trade this between here and here somewhere. Now there are some other areas right here that I got to watch as if it does break, right? So there I am getting inside of that. But I want to see it break and hold into that box before I would even think about entering the trade for real, right? So, as you can see, it doesn't want to go there. It's just sitting there teasing me. And it'll probably just shoot right up there for no reason at all. And I'll be upset again. Did it start on the shoulder of the previous candle? It's trying to. Does it have oomph to the upside? Well, it's trying. Am I convinced that that's what it is that's going to be there? Well, you don't know, right? You got to check and see, right? So, see what happens here. If it can get up there and move its way up. It's still fighting to get up through there in that box. I'm hoping it goes up to them dash lines. Now, I don't really expect it to. I expect there to be some big resistance right here. I'll leave that cursor there so you can see that, right? Yourself, right? So, there we go, right? We're watching that climb up there. It just doesn't have it, right? It's not getting it. It's going to fade there. People are going to freak out if it doesn't get up there, right, for much, right? So, hopefully it'll get the oomph to get there. I don't see any big orders that really want to pull it up to that 135 level. It's trying to. There's a 135 and a 0.2. Here it comes up there a little bit up there. And it's working its way up. Yes, I'm not looking at that screen. I'm looking at a different screen. Yes, I am. I am waiting to see if it's going to hit that 135 is what I'm holding out for. But if not, I'm not going to hang around here too much. It's getting close to that point where I said, watch out, right? So I'm just going to go ahead and lock in that profit right there. And it went right to where I said, right? Didn't I say right here it might run into a little bit of issues? See that? My cursor there goes right there where the top of that body was. Now it can break through here again, but it had that issue there, right? And that's using your chart looking behind you. And it doesn't mean it's going to stop there. It just means expect something maybe to slow down, right? Now, does it want to break out through here again? Again, this is that area that it was fighting to get through forever. I was trading in this channel. Remember I mentioned that channel I was trading in? See that? It's coming up again. This is in recent history. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is the 6th time. You would think the 6th time would be the charm, right? And it would just say, woohoo, and broke through, right? Nope. Nope, not this time. Does that mean it still can't? No, it doesn't mean that at all. It can still do it, but just not giving me a lot of confidence. You get smacked in the face so many times, you learn not to do anything. And traders the same way. Well, why don't just break through? Well, then heck with it. Don't want to go higher than that. I'm getting out of my trade, and then the price plummets, right? So, anyhow, wow, I've been on live for over an hour and have not got a TikTok thing yet. No warnings, no puzzle pieces yet. It's a good thing. Yesterday, I got a warning every 10 minutes. You violated terms of your whatever, right? And I didn't do anything. All I did was talk. Hey, Vikash, good to see you over there. Thank you for that follow, brother in Christ Jesus. Thank you for that. Love the name. Cami and DMV Jorge. Oh, Locke, Scott, Felix, thank you all for the follows. Appreciate it. What's going on over there at YouTube, James? You need to go over there, rattle the cage. I don't see anybody. Ain't nobody over there even asking questions today. Might as well shut her down. How many likes do we have over there? How many thumbs up? I can see how many people are getting there. If you're over there on the YouTubes, you should be giving a thumb up. That helps the logarithms, right? And right now, only about half of those that have been in here today have given a thumbs up. I'm sorry you don't like the program. Even though you're still here watching live, only 10 of you have given a thumbs up. What's up with that? All right. All right. Sergio. Hey, Daddy. Sergio. You're crazy. One of our paid members. Everybody knows Sergio. What's going on, buddy? All right. What else go? Bro account setup. Well, I'm not your bro, but what do you want to know about account setup, sir? Anything? Now, wait a minute. You said it's not a Hawaiian shirt. It's a Caribbean shirt to set the record straight. And number two, I wore my Johnny Cash black dress shirt yesterday, and you said that's why the numbers were lower. So I went back to my old attire, and now my counts are up today. So the shirt actually helps there, Ralph. Anywho. All right. Hello from Brazil. Hey, good to have you here, Mama. Mama Trade. We have members from all over the world. Glad to have you here with us. We are live here from 2 to 4 p.m. Eastern Time each and every day. Coach is live from 9 to 11. I'm from 2 to 4. And then immediately following this program at 4 p.m. Eastern is our aftermarket show, live show with Dawn over on our YouTube channel, American Dream Trading. So you'll want to watch that. Upon conclusion of this broadcast and all our live broadcasts, they are immediately automatically posted over on our YouTube channel. So you can go back and review anything you might have missed, or you wanted to hear something over again, or you just want to look at my beautiful face longer. You can do that too. But there's also over 2,800, that's 2,800 training videos over there for absolutely free. And if we provide those to you free, imagine what we provide for our paid members. It will blow your mind. It will melt your mind. It's a mind melt amount of material that we have for you as paid members. And, you know, the free stuff's nothing to shirk about either. There's a lot of information. I'd highly recommend you start with the section over into YouTube. There's a tab section there you can look at, and there's one there that's grouped by topics. I would highly recommend you watch the coach's 2-minute EWO trading strategies and get a quick start and see how things work. That one strategy alone there can possibly, results not guaranteed, make you a boatload of money. Can't guarantee you that, right? All right. Only thing I can guarantee you is failure if you don't listen to the sound of Coach's voice and do not follow Coach's rules. I can guarantee you that will result in your failure. That's the only guarantee we can offer. Why? Because I know it works. Because I know that to be true. We see people come in here and do that all the time. All right. Brother in Christ, projection on what there? What do you want a projection on? Paramedic says, I am with a group. Do you focus on options? I don't personally. This is the future, so that's what we're talking about. I haven't traded a stock option in a year. Why? Because I love futures so much. I don't trade options and futures either. But yes, we train extensively on stocks and stock options, right? And you can get that with the premium or VIP Gold or Diamond memberships. You can spend up to 12 hours a day live training and trading options. The way Coach teaches it, if you're new, you should be starting out by trading stocks first, learn all the basics of that before going to options. I love trading options. I did it 2 years straight. I was very successful in doing so. But then I discovered futures, and I love it. And I love the trade-off that it gives me, right? It's not that futures are better. They're not better. Any more that options are not better than futures, right? They're different, right? They're the same but different. They have different benefits. Options have their own benefits. Futures have their own benefits for trading, right? So it's whatever you like. And ever since I've come trading futures full time, I haven't traded a stock option since November of last year. So it's been dang on almost a year, about 6 weeks away from a year since I've traded a stock option. That's just because I love futures that much. I really do. This is my jam, right? You get on something you like. You know, if you like stock options, you may never trade futures, right? It's what you like, what you're good at. What's your jam, right? So yes, you can, they do focus on those very things 12 hours a day over with our premium and up memberships. We also have crypto membership and we also have futures memberships. So you will find more information than your brain can handle. It will melt your mind. And you can train live and ask any question you want about options at any time during the day. So very good, very exciting. It's exciting and fun to trade options. I always enjoyed it. And I still would if I went and do it. I just don't have a desire. I still have an account. I can still go do it, right? I just choose not to because I'm over here in the futures market. Good question. All right. What else we got? MK988, thanks for that follow and thanks for the roses and the gifts. Appreciate it. I'm sorry I didn't see it pop up live when it happened. I was looking at my other screen. All right. So apparently there isn't anybody over on YouTube. I'm always just shut YouTube off because nobody's even paying attention or asking questions over there. TikTok's the bomb today. They're over there asking questions, making comments, getting easily beatable. I mean, none of you single-handedly could beat him, right? So check it out. All right. Did that answer your question there, Paramedic David? Excuse me, why? I sneeze. This will be so glad when this sinus thing goes away. It's really being a thorn in my side. And the more I talk, the more it vibrates my sinuses. So I'm trying to make sure I talk through my stomach like you show your diaphragm. What's going on? I heard anything moving? I haven't heard anybody call anything out lately. Oil went
Gold's
full.
on the key level.
Yep, there it is. There's my level again, right? Still waiting on that break. What is that at? That's at my 120 level, right? My 120 level I've been waiting on, and what is it doing? Rejecting back off the bottom of that trend channel. You know what? Sometimes coaches' indicators aggravate me because they work so well. It almost seems like they make the price stop right on it where it should, right on the bottom of that trend line. See that? You know what that is? This red line, that's the bottom of the trend line. Green is the top of the trend line. The gray is the center of the trend, the median, right? And look how it respects that trend line. It's almost like coach made these things on purpose to stop right there. It's not. It's a mathematical formula that draws these lines, right? Based on the price of the movement in time, right? So, but that just shows you how much I respect these. Matter of fact, earlier today, that one red trade I had, I was going up into my next level where I wanted to trade it at, and it started to move that way. And then after I was in it, I ended up being a red trade, and I went and looked at it after the fact because I kind of jumped in real quick. It was right there at the top of the trend channel. It didn't break and hold above it, which I know better. I want to wait on that break and hold. Same way down here. If it comes down here, I want to break and hold below that trend channel line at the bottom of the trend before I enter, which at that same time should be broken and held below the 120 mark. So it'll be a double whammy if it can do that. And then I have been dreaming of this, thinking that there might be a nice pull to the downside that I can take advantage of. No guarantees, but it keeps rejecting that area multiple times. It's actually starting to aggravate me. See all this bouncing around. I just don't like this level. All right, here it comes. So now I'm keeping my eye on this trade and dag on it. And what did it do? Bounce off that red line again. I'm going to tell coach to get rid of that indicator. It's making the stock price stop. What the heck? I swear that's what it's doing. It's not. You know I'm joking, right? That's just how good it is. It saved me from getting into a bad trade, right? So if you trust your indicators, do you trust your indicators, right? Yep. Yeah, Papa Todd, you are right. We do have some of the best option traders in the world in our group. Go meet Palm Coast. They'll tell you all about it. Is this the gold chart? Yes, it is. This happens to be the micro gold that I have up. This is the one I was using earlier, so I have more lines on it instead of the GC chart. This is MGC. You can see it right here. See M, micro gold 1 minute chart. So I could put it on in 2 minute. I'm still waiting on this to break right here. This is a great place. Now the trend line's right on my gold level. Hey, it ain't got nowhere to wait now. Ain't nothing stopping this from going down. We'll see what happens. I still want that break and hold. In other words, I want the next candle on the shoulder of this one. And if I get a gamma candle here, I'm going to be very upset. I want this to stair step down. I don't want it to shoot down. I want it to take its time going through there. And I have 35 seconds left on this 1 minute candle as it tries to break through. Look at that. See, that's a lot of money. I could have jumped in that on the break of that, but that thing can retrace on you so fast it would make your head spin. That thing will move. Well, right now the average is 34 ticks. So that will move $34 on a micro or $340 on an E-mini trade, right? So I want to wait here. I got 9 seconds left. See, this just, I should have just entered it, right? Because I've been waiting on this to break through, and so is everybody else, right? Now, here it is. It's going to not hold down here. Came down to that 411, so it was a short-lived. And if you look across and look behind you, that's where that noise was at from earlier, the 1 or 2 times that it did break through, right? So you can see right here. I shrink this in. See this noise here? So this is what they're looking at, too. It's not a clean break, but, you know, if you can get down below this line, you know, I'd really be interested, right? Now, could I jumped in that candle as it went through? Yes, I could have done a quick 5-second scalp, got in, got out. But, you know, there's no reason for me to put my account at risk at this late in the day, right? I've had a successful day trading. I don't need to take unnecessary risky trades. It's not that I don't. I'm a scalper, so I can jump in and jump out very easily, right? No big deal to me to jump in and out in a matter of seconds. Literally trade one candle. Matter of fact, I've traded with one candle multiple times in that same candle, right? You can do it, but you don't want to do it. So I'm really waiting on it to break this line right here, if it can do it. Fortunately, it wasn't this time. Can I do it now, jump in there and catch that to the downside? Well, yeah, the other thing is the volume is lower now, right? It's like 193 versus in the thousands. Sellers and buyers are about even, so they're fighting over the price here, right? So you're going to see me type some random numbers in here, TikTok. So they'll pop up on your screen there. So let TikTok know that I am actively involved here. And I have still not gotten a puzzle piece or anything else, right? When it pops, can you short it again? Yeah, matter of fact, if it bounces off the 9, I can short it to the downside, right? If it comes up here and hits the 9, now it may not because I got a gold level right there. That 120 gold level, it has to fight. Now the 9's coming down to it. But yes, I'll play bounces off the 9. I'll play bounces off the bottom, right? Up and down, right? I'm just looking for a short to the downside, that's all. I don't really need to trade. Like I say, I've had a good day. I just was kind of hoping that would stair step down through that area that I was looking for, that's all. So, now, can I come up here and trade this? Yeah, I can, right? I come up here, I can come in here and enter this trade anytime I want, right? I can go bang, See, now I'm in the trade right over here. See that? There's my stop, which is pre-programmed in there, right? I'll tighten that stop up a little bit there. Down $30 on 2 contracts, right? Micro contracts. These are micro gold, right? So yeah, I can jump in willy-nilly anytime I want. I'll probably still get lucky and make money, right? Right now I'm down $6. I can go as soon as this pulls down here. I can get out green, no problem. Now this is paper trading money. This is not my real account. I don't trade my real account live in front of everybody because I don't want to be distracted, right? See, I'd be down $30 right now, $50, right? That's why I don't do that. Then I can jump in here and show you what not to do or what happens if you don't follow the rules, right? I just jumped in here willy-nilly to show you that I can take a paper trade right here on this account. Now, does that mean I don't have my live account on next to me somewhere? Yeah, I do. But it's not wise for me to trade it live, but I have it there just in case because I was waiting on that 120 level forever. And I was hoping it would get down there. Actually did, but it didn't do it the way I wanted it to. I wanted to take its time instead of having a ginormous gamma candle. Can't always get what you want, right? You can't always get what you want. Right? Okay, who sings that? Come on. Who sings that? Who's got gray hair and knows what that song is? Come on. right? So anyway, so I could sit here and wait for this. This will move right now on average 36 ticks per 1 minute candle. That can be up and down. It could be part way up, part way down, whatever. Yeah, you're right, Lazy Days. You got it right. They're not one of my favorite bands, quite honest with you. I listen to them, but I don't. They're not my. Pink Floyd's my favorite band. Thanks for asking. And Dan got it right also. We're on the YouTubes, right? So, is this thing can continue to stair step down? Well, yeah, the trend's down. Can I leave this sit here and ride? Yeah, I can. I got to stop in place. Risking $100, right? $106. In other words, $58 a contract. I actually want to tighten that up. I'm going to move this just a hair above my gold level there. And then if this comes up and touches that, it'll stop me out of the trade and prevent me from losing any more money. So I have $94 total at risk, right? So that's what stops are there for, to minimize your losses. And you can lock in your gains. You can slide this down, lock in your gains if we need to. Hang on, I got to answer a personal text. Forgot to silence it, but this is a kind of a personnel. Yes, I'm on my phone on company time. How's that? I'm still here. Please hold for the next available representative. All right. All right. Thank you. Excuse me. Anyway, what happened while I was gone? Anything moving? Huh? Dope music. Thanks for the follow, Rogue Ranger. Thank you. See you. Good to see you back.
Just playing a little bounce off the golden level.
Yep. Rogue Ranger, what's up with you lately? You've been around all the time. I haven't seen you a whole lot lately. Or did I just miss you? All right. James. Oh, hey, was I in that trade or what? What happened there? Was I in a trade? Or, I don't know, did it stop me out or something? Must have when I wasn't looking. Anyway. Okay.
I think that wick right there, it just wicked you out.
No, did it? It's paper anyway. If I'd been a real trade, I'd have closed it, right? Anyway, that was paper. So, where's my 120 at? It's up there, right? Broke through. And I wanted to wait for it to break through this white line that it's just broke through again while I was goofing off. You're always in the Zoom. Okay, good. Yeah, I'm in the future, so that's why I wondered. Good. How's your trading? How's your having a personal conversation here with Rogue Ranger over there on TikTok? So how's your journey in trading going? Rogue started out here watching us live, and is now a member. Right, made that transition. How's your journey going? Rough? Good? So, anyway. Whatever. Yeah, you like that comment there, Ragtag? I just seen that. You commented on that. All right. Going great, getting better every day. Good. Thanks to ADT. Yep, follow coach's rules. Right? So. Good. What else is going on? Is there anything else worth trading rather than this that we're sitting here looking at in Power Hour, which is what you should not be trading, right? Because it can be the most volatile time of the day, other than the opening bell, right? And Q's kind of flat. RTY has been pulling down nicely. It's below the 2,500 mark also. Dang. Had that level 2,500. Look, it broke through it. Was it down there below that earlier today? Oh, I guess it was. Never mind. All right, I didn't realize. I was thinking it didn't break through that until just now. But RTY, Russell's really nice downtrend there. All right. And watching gold again here. Yes, it seems like I've been hanging out on one thing today, but, you know, sometimes you're beneficial waiting for your setup to happen and then jumping on it as it happens, right? If you're flipping charts every 5 seconds, you're going to miss the move on the one you wanted to get in on, right? What about Tesla? I don't know, KK. What about it? What do you want to know? That's a pretty broad question. What about Tesla? They make cars. Is that what you wanted to know? They're a high-tech company. Is that what you wanted to know? What do you want to know about Tesla? Need something more specific about that. That's a pretty big thing about Tesla. That's a big company. They make robots. They're R&D and development and AI kind of related things. They make cars and cyber trucks. All kinds of good things. What do you want to know specifically? Am I an expert on Tesla? No. What are my thoughts on AZO? I've lost, okay, kind of freaking out. Well, AZO, are you in a stock or stock option on AZO? We'll take a look at it now. I want you to realize neither I or anyone else associated with American Dream Trading are licensed financial advisors, and as such, we cannot offer you investment, financial, or tax advice at any time. But I will look at this. Why am I going to look at AZO? Well, that's not a stock. That's not a future. That's a stock, right? Yes, it is. It's AutoZone. Why? Why am I looking at it? Because I want to. This is my show for this right now. So, why? Here's another reason why I wanted to do this, because I know I don't have it charted out. Have I traded AutoZone at some time in my career? Yes, I have, as a matter of fact, right? All right, so, the whether to get in, I can't offer you that. You have to do your own evaluation about Tesla, right? You should know your critical levels. You should have them all charted out. You should know how to use your indicators. What's your critical levels? Man, this AutoZone really, what's going up with this AutoZone? Is that something right? That's a crappy looking chart. New York Stock Exchange. Yeah, right there. Why does that chart look so bad? What's up with that? No volume? That can't be right. Is this the right chart? No volume? What the heck? Anybody seen that? A big company with a chart that looks that way? This chart's got to be screwed up. Ain't no way that's right. Does anybody else's AutoZone chart look like mine? Paid members with dots and dashes and no volume.
Isn't it a pretty expensive AutoZone?
Yeah, it's 4,000, but still, it's a heavily traded company, right? Is it not?
What's the ticker? AZO?
Yeah, AZO. I'm like, why is there all them dashes and dots, you know?
Nope, I see the same thing on TradingView.
Well, that's because it's so expensive. There isn't a lot of volume in it, then, apparently, huh?
Yeah, $4,000 a share is pretty.
Yeah. What's the volume on it? I mean, it's got, well, the volume today. Wow. What the heck? The average volume is only 120,000 now. And they only traded half of that today. Yeah, I wouldn't be in this one.
Yeah.
There's no volume to move that.
So I think this is more of an investment style.
Yeah, long-term buy and hold, right?
Right, because
it's not something you want to trade. No, it's not you can't, but you have to have volume to make money, right? To have it to move the price. And look at this here. You know, when you see these dashes, and these big gaps between candles and gaps between these lines, you see how these all are? This is horrible. And part of the reason is it's high price, but still, I would never guess it would look like this. That's why I was asking, you know, that's a 2-minute chart. These should all be candles on a 2-minute. So that just shows you there's not a lot of volume, and there's not. You know, for a huge company like this, you know, they have 16 million shares, and it's only getting 63,000 in volume. That's nothing. We have hot stocks that trade more than that. Yeah, we have our hot stocks we trade every morning have 1 million volume. So part of that is the issue is probably the price, right? And I know they've been having some issues over time also, right? So that is going to be very hard to make any kind of serious dough on. And if you're actively trading it during the day, it's easy to get your face ripped off. Why? Because there's no volume, and then all of a sudden you get a volume where there's a couple volume candles, right? See this chart down? Let me stretch out this volume thing here, all right? The reason I was going to show you is this. I was hoping to chart it out and show you key levels, but I mean, this is a mess. See, look at this. You got an opening bell, and you got a, well, that is the opening one right there, 9:30. Other than that, this thing has zero volume all day. You're going to have a tough road, my friend, with that, right?
To even see any type of movement, you have to go to like a daily, the 4-hour chart probably.
Yeah, a day chart, whatever. Let's look at a day chart. Or not, like you said, let's go an hour first. You can trade it on higher time frames, but you got to have candles to be able to look to make decisions.
It's still
right?
spotty on the 1 hour. It's still spotty.
Yeah, there's a 1 hour. It's a little better, but at least
Gold's
I got
breaking through the gold level.
Gold's breaking through the gold level. Is that what you said?
Yes, sir.
Well, anyway.
Yeah, they just don't get enough volume.
Yeah, so that's an issue. So if you're a long-term buy and hold on it, okay, that's a little bit different. But if you're trying to make money minute by minute on that, you don't have enough volume to do anything, right? And what will happen, let's just use these candles as those dashes that we saw earlier. You'll get a price here, and all of a sudden the price will be way up here. Or it'll be way down here, and you'll wonder what the heck happened, right? So you almost have to trade this on a hourly or whatever, right? So, but you have to know what your levels are, right? What's the news on Amazon? Has it had any news? Is there earnings? What they do with their earnings? Yada, yada, yada. So hopefully you bought this for a long-term buy and hold. And I see you put a dollar amount, what you've lost this month, freaking you out. Well, is it time to cut bait, quit fishing, right? Sometimes you have to. Part of trading also is knowing when to rip the Band-Aid off and get out of a trade. I'm not telling you to get out of this trade. I'm just saying you need to evaluate. If $200 is making you very uncomfortable, well, maybe you just need to take this as an educational opportunity. And education can be expensive sometimes, right? $200 is actually pretty cheap, a pretty cheap education, if you ask me, right? Yeah, it sucks to lose $200. I don't care how much money it is. Now, what can I do? All right. So the reason I wanted to show you this, I hope that just to chart it out, just to show you, because a chart's a chart. It doesn't have to be a futures chart, right? So I'm going to go real quick and put it on a 4-hour chart. And I'm going to go in here and look at my key levels, right? I'm going to chart everywhere I see peaks that it touches more than once or twice, or, if it's at an all-time high or something, that's a different story. So I will start popping lines on here, right? So I know there's a historical level. Let me get rid of that, right? So I'll start, and you can do month, day, week, whatever. It's your chart. You can do it however you like. So I'm going to come on here real quick, and I'm going to start putting lines on my chart. Where do I see the peaks and valleys here, right? So I get a historical levels here that I know this is trading at, right? So right down here is there. It comes great top of there. Actually, this would be better a little bit down here further. Let me slide this down. Right there catches the top of that candle over here. Catches the top of those there. Catches that coming up. Catches the wick on that candle. So what I want to do is get some good levels on here. Get your peaks and valleys where it touches multiple times. So you got a touch here, a touch there, a touch here, a touch there. If you see something like that, then pop a line there, right? Now I'm not zoomed in very hard for you to see here, but here's a low spot here. Does it line up with any of these? Well, you could say it does, right? Bang, bang, bang. All right, so now let's just say that's sufficient for what we want, right? It may be or may not be. So here's another 4-hour line. I can pop right here for a level. See how this comes to here? This one comes down to here and touches. So let's go look at a 2-minute. Now this is going to be a lot harder. Matter of fact, let's go to 1 hour because that data is just too hard to see on a 2-minute or 1 minute, which is what I would prefer. So we'll take what we have that's easy to see. Now I'll do the same skill here, right? I'll take it. This is on a 1 hour chart. Where do I see multiple touches? You just move your cursor and look across your chart, right? Bang, there's a line there. There's a level there, right? Do where you're at now. Do a little higher, do a little lower. I don't know if you want to be as open enough to tell me what you bought it at. You You don't need to tell me that, and we don't need to get that personal, but if you want to share it, that's on you. So try to find some key levels here that you can see that it touched at. Maybe right there. Anyway, okay. So now, I have some lines I can see where it's traded at historically. I would like to break it down more than 1 hour, but we've already looked at the chart. There's not much data there, right? A lot of dashes. That's not good. Oh, okay, yeah. How much is this moving an average in a day? Can you tell me that? Right? Yeah, so you're down 200. That makes sense, right? So, 1 share, well, maybe you might want to consider $200 education was worth it, right? Number one, don't buy anything that doesn't have good volume that moves, right? And why did you buy this? What was the reasoning? Now, if you have a good reason why you bought it, and them reasons have not changed, then don't worry about it. How long have you held it? How long are you willing to hold it, right? What are the long-term prospects? What research have you done personally into this company? Or did you buy it because some uncle's friend's brother's sister's third cousin's nephew who happens to live next door to some guy that once traded a stock 50 years ago said, hey, psst, buy Amazon? Is that how you bought it? Or did you buy this for a logical reason? Okay, that's a question, right? Let's see who we got. Papa Todd. You want to assist their, or Nunya? You want to assist Mr. Chad Sarton to the door, please? Thank you. We don't come into our house promoting other places. That is not welcome here. And matter of fact, I'll just take care of it myself instead of pushing it on to somebody else. And that's how we do things around here, right? Come into my house trying to sell things, right? Start your own channel, right? There you go. Goodbye, Felicia. There we go. Thank you very much. So anyway, let me ask you this. And again, I know we're not talking about futures here, but the same things apply. Why are you doing what you're doing? First day went to 253, right? And then plummeted when earnings call came out. Okay. That's a good reason why, right? So that's one of the reasons. Now, what lesson did we learn about buying a stock right before earnings? Okay, that's a good lesson. You learned it the hard way, right? Bought it on a 5-year span. Okay. Well, now my question to you, is it going to hurt you to hold it? Is $200 going to ruin you if you sell it right now? Correct? Who's to say it's not going to go back up that $200 at any time soon, right? What does a monthly chart look like? Or let's look at the yearly chart. Let's go here. Let's go look at a 12-month chart. All right. Well, this stock's been up way up there, right? Don't show nothing that way, does it? Monthly chart. Let's go monthly here. All right, so there's a monthly chart. 42.80. It's been as high as 43.88 on this part of the chart here. It's had a nice steady climb up. What would you say by looking at this chart the trend of AutoZone is in the long run? In its history, what would you say the trend is? Okay, that's on a month chart. Each candle represents 1 month. Okay, so you have to make a decision, and I can't tell you what to do. All right, has the trend definitely been up forever? Right? Is it a good company? Do you believe in the company? Right? If it was doing good still at this moment, would you buy more shares? And you said, no, it's not going to hurt you to hold it. Okay. Well, that's a decision. See, that's what when we buy and hold things for the long run, we got to watch we don't get too excited over a temporary situation. Okay. If the fundamentals have you done technical analysis on the company? Do you know what makes the company good? Do you know what they're looking for in earnings? Are you familiar with that market? Who's their competitors, right? All those things. If you're going to buy and hold long term, you need to be educated in what you're investing in, right? So if you haven't done that, really start to learn how to who dig deep into these companies. Now, as you can see, in a 1 month period, is it unrealistic to think that in another month period it couldn't go right back up and higher than what it is now? All right, each candle's a month, by the way. Okay, doesn't look so bad, does it? It's just a pullback. If this was on a 2-minute chart and you had a pullback like that, would you freak out? It could still be a lot of money, depending on what you're trading, right? But this is just a pullback, right? Because of bad earnings. Now, does that mean they're a bad company now? Well, maybe they are, maybe they aren't. But is it unrealistic? What's the, well, you can't get an ATR on this long, can you? So this pulled back. Look at this monthly candle here that went up, right? This one went up 377 points in 1 month. So does that tell you that it's unrealistically that it couldn't do the same thing again? Look at this candle. Do the math. Just measure the price at the top, measure the price at the bottom, or you can use this measuring tool like I have. I'm just doing the open and the closing price. There is $294.71 climb there. Okay? Let's look at a normal size candle down here, right? From here to there is 150, right? So is it unreasonable to think that in a month or two even, if these smaller average candles go, that it could not recover 200 points? That's one way of looking at it. Now, if there's some fundamentals with the company, right? Yeah, the 3/4, yeah, it's you don't like to see these things. But if you're in the long term, you have to learn you have a different set of criteria that you go by. If you're 20 years old and you don't care if you sell this for another 30 years, you don't give a rat's butt about what it does at any given day or even any given month, right? As long as the fundamentals of the company are sound and that the management is sound, right? And that they're actively in the market, who's their competitors? Are they doing better than their competitors? Yes, $200 sucks. But what if you haven't looked at it? If a long-term holding, if you haven't looked at it, I got stock I'm holding, I couldn't tell you what the price is. I hold one, for example, I own some NVIDIA stock. I have no clue what the price of NVIDIA is right now. I don't care. You know why? Because I have no intention of selling it anytime, right? It could be $1 million right now and I don't even know it, right? Because it's not my plan. When I bought it, I'm buying it and holding it until whenever. Until it quits being a good company, right? So those are things. Your scares the past 3 quarters have been lower than expected earnings. Okay, well, you need to find out why. Why is that? Have all the other auto part companies followed suit? Have they been bad? Is it just part of the economy? Is it part of the tariffs? Is it part of imports? So look at the sector as a whole. Don't just look at this company. Compare it to the ones it competes with, right? You have AutoZone. What else? You have O'Reilly's. You have Advanced Auto, and there's probably other regional ones and stuff, right?
Napa.
Yeah, compare it to other ones in the industry. You really got to get in and look. So then you may find that they did the exact same thing, and so it really won't make your AutoZone stock look so bad. This may be a temporary situation. And then again, maybe it's not. Maybe it's a permanent, right? So don't freak out. You have to be able to evaluate by different criteria versus me as a day trader. I'm trading in a matter of seconds, right? In and out. I can lose a lot of money in a matter of seconds, right? You lost money over a few months, right? So it's a totally different thing, but you can see how I charted this out, right? And I looked at this, and I do the same thing with futures, right? We chart out our charts. We don't trade without charting things out. We don't chart without evaluating longer term. Ralph's a swing trader. He's always looking at the long term. Where's this been going in the last 5 days or last month? Here's a key level. Watch out for. And he waits until it gets there, and then he enters a trade. I don't do that. I'm trading off the 9. I'm very superficial on how I trade. Is one way better than the other? No, not at all. It's different. That's all it is, just different. Ralph will make just as much money, but he makes it in a different way.
I tell you what, that one hasn't broken trend.
No, it's not. If you look at the trend, this is a month chart. Look at it. That's still a beautiful trade. You had a major pullback. That's all. Did you not have pullbacks in the history of this company along the way up? Did it not keep going up? See that? Ghost Rider, I do see you had your hand up. Did you have something about this trade, Ghost Rider? Sorry. Or do you have another question? Paid member, Ghost Rider.
Is that me?
Yeah, that's you. Did you have a question about AutoZone or comment or not?
No.
Okay.
It's something a little bit different. It was about Tradivate.
Yeah, let me get back to you on that. All right.
No.
Don't let me forget you. So anyway, this is one red candle out of how many months? So we just measured those candle. I don't think, my evaluation is, and I'm not a long-term buy and holder like you are, that it's not unreasonable to think that this can't, if they get a good earnings report the next time, that it can't just continue over in 1 month or 2 months, on average, could recover everything back. But again, I'm not offering investment advice. It's just something to consider. But I would compare it against its industry, who it's competing against, and compare their 1 month charts. Does their chart look similar? Right? Then I'm not going to get into it. I could do that for you, but I'm not going to. That's up to you, right? You're trading it. You need to get into the research. So take a lot of them things I said, and reevaluate, and if you decide you're just not comfortable and you want to get out, then fine, right? The ones that jump, only one gets hurt on a roller coaster, jumps off before it stops moving, right? So anyway, take a look at that. That's a great question, and it's just a form of evaluation. And you do need to know what you're trading, and I'm familiar. Why is gold moving what it is, or why is oil moving because of it? What's the news, right? What's the trend? What's the high? What's the lows? All those things. Where's my key levels? And it's the same thing you do with the individual stocks, right? It's the same principles that Coach taught us when I was learning to do this. I've just applied it to futures. So hopefully that helps you out to make your own decision, educate yourself. I think if you do those things I asked you to do, especially the research part, I think your mind may be more at ease, right? And understand what it is. It's a temporary thing. Now, 3 quarters in a row down, yeah, that's kind of hard to stomach, but you're talking a 9-month period, right? 3 quarters, that's 9 months, right? Or, yeah, every quarter's, yeah. So that's 9 months. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Has it still not gone up that entire time? Except for this pullback here, right? There's been some wild swings in prices over a month, right? So take what that's worth, and let me know. Let me come back later, in days or in weeks ahead. Let me know if your mind is more at ease, or let me know the outcome, what your thought process is, right? It's an interesting conversation, and I have bought long term, so I have been a value investor in my past life. Okay, so I know how to analyze a company, right? A stock, individual, long term holding thing. I don't do that now. It's not my tea. I'm a momentum trader. I'm in it to win it to the moment, whatever it gives me at that moment. I'm done with my date. I take her home, dump her off on the porch, and go to the next date, right? So, look, I'd appreciate it if you let me know sometime in the future, at least if your mind's at ease about what you found, right? You can give me a little synopsis of what you found too. That'd be interesting. Cool. All right, back to question about Tradivate. Ghost Rider.
Yep. I'm here. By the way, Mark, I like your new picture. It looks just like you. I'm
yes,
assuming.
It does.
So I was thinking of switching from Webull to Tradivate.
Okay.
And I was trying to figure out the commissions difference. I looked at it. I couldn't make head or tails, and also the margin requirements. It looked like less.
Yes, margins are substantially less. The fees and commissions are actually net higher. But
okay.
So that's if I'm trading if I'm trading one contract of NQ, I think it's on Webull. I'm just giving you a rough, just for comparison purposes. It was like $4.28 to trade one E-mini of NASDAQ. With Tradivate, it would be $5.79 or something like that. So they are higher. But however, for me to trade one thing of NASDAQ, it's only $1,000 for one E-mini. With Webull, it's going to be like $1,700. To trade at night with Tradivate, it's still $1,000 to trade all night long and early morning, all day, other than between 5 and 6 p.m. When you go to trade one contract of NQ, it's like $24,000 or whatever it is. Okay. So you have a lot lower margin. You're going to pay a little bit more in fees. If you're a high volume trader, that'll matter, right? If you're not a high volume trader, and you're looking forward to get in a better entry with less margin requirements and be able to trade at night or early mornings, because Weeble's intraday don't start till 9 and it only goes to 4:15. Then it goes to the overnight margins, which are really high, right?
Yep.
So their fees are a little lower. So you have to weigh that. Do you trade a lot per day? Many trades? You know, you got
maybe 2 or 3. You know what I mean?
2 or 3. Oh yeah, I would pay to do that then, right? Because that you're not going to care about the higher fees, right? Yeah,
Right.
you're going to pay them, but you're going to be able to also get. It opens up the door of opportunity. You know, for $1,000 instead of 1,700, you could trade Nasdaq all night long, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's the benefit. There's always a trade off, you know.
Always.
Now their website's not real clear on what their fees are. Now there is a page, if you dig deep, it gives you the exact ones, but on the front page it just touts their low fees of whatever 39 cents, and that sounds cheaper, right? But there's commissions and everything else involved that they don't talk about on that front page. And
Gotcha.
when I opened my account, you know, I opened it up as a test account, right? Let me see here. I got to answer my TikTok thingy-majiggy here. I don't see a puzzle. What's going on here? Somebody's got an ankle biter as a dog. Is that a terrier?
Yeah, I have 3, and they're all like poodle, labradoodle.
Yeah, I can tell. I got Yorkies. I got a real man's dog, Yorkie.
Yeah. Must be getting on Amazon. So, question: when you're trading, so you have your trading view set up to Tradivate, but do you still trade off Webull screen?
I do. I do both. I hook when I'm trading Webull, I can attach it to my Trading View, and I can hook my Tradivate account up to Trading View. And I don't even use the Tradivate software to trade. I just have it linked to it. Now I have it open on another screen, right? In case I lose my connection between Trading View and Tradivate. But yeah, I just have it linked. It's one of the brokers you can link directly to Trading View and conduct your trades in and out all day long. That way, I love it. I love doing it this way because I can come up here, you know, and use these widgets to trade. I can come up here and click that, bang, I'm in a trade, right?
Yep.
There it is. And I can use this, but this is linked to, now this is paper trading, but if this was real, it would be linked to my real Tradivate account or my real Webull account. Okay.
Gotcha.
Now,
that's not used. Okay.
My intent of going to Tradivate was to move my large account over there, right? Because I thought the commissions were less, and they really aren't. Webull is less expensive commission, but the barrier for margin is higher. Well, my large account is large. I don't care what the margin is, right? I can cover it very easily. So I'm more concerned about the fees. So to me, it makes more sense for me to stay with Webull and pay, because if I'm trading 100 contracts, it's $428 versus $576 per 100 contract trade, right? And if I do that, 25 times a day, that's a lot of money in fees, extra fees, right? To me, the fees is better for me because I have the account that I don't care about what the margins are, right? It doesn't restrict me on my large account on trading per se, right?
Gotcha.
Now, am I going to trade 100 contracts of NQ at night on Webull? No. But I can trade.
Because you need so much. Okay, I got you. So after hours Tradivate, basically after hours. I say after hours, but you know what I'm saying. Okay.
Yeah. So between 6 a.m. and 9 a.m., you get that benefit of that low margin rate, right?
Wow. Yeah.
They both pay the same because that's contractual. So
that's huge.
That's the entry. That's what you have to weigh. So my initial intent was to try out Tradivate, demonstrate it for the paid members, show how it actually works. Matter of fact, I made a trading video on it. You can find it in the Discord.
Oh, okay, cool.
Maybe a hair outdated, but it's the gist of it's still the same. And I was going to move my large account over there to save money on fees until I found out, well, they're really not cheaper. They're actually more expensive than Webull. Okay. And because I'm a high volume trader, those fees would add up. Now, I don't notice the fees. When it comes down to it, I don't care about the fees. That's part of the cost of doing business. But the reality is that's part of your profit and loss every day, right? So you want to reduce fees as much as you can, right? So those are the things you have to weigh. If you can get in a lot cheaper, margin wise, and you're not making a ton of trades a day, then you don't really care about fees. You care about having the doors open to you, be able to trade, because you don't have $25,000 to trade one or whatever it is. What is it?
Correct.
$24,000 to trade one contract NQ at night if you love the NQ. So you have to wait till the morning when it's like $1,700, right? So, well, for $1,000, I can trade NQ all night, in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out.
So that brings up another question. Why did you stop at 100 contracts? Because you could do 200 contracts or 300.
It's just where I'm comfortable at.
Okay. I didn't know if there was a other than comfort, if there was a
no.
Okay.
There's really no barrier. Just me. Just nice round number, right?
Yep.
Can I go bigger? Well, yeah, there's no reason. All I got to do is type in a different number, right?
Yeah. So, I didn't know if it was because you'd have a problem selling out of 150 contracts versus 100, but
No, it's just personal preference at the moment, right? Okay. Am I limiting my potential? Well, possibly. But, there's a risk involved with upsizing, right?
Yeah.
Reward versus risk.
Whatever you're doing it right. So
yeah, I mean, you don't trade it any different than you trade one contract, or 5 or 10 or 20 or 30. If you got your mechanics down and you're good and you're a confident trader, you trust your indicators, you trust your charts, and you just work your way. I didn't get to 100 overnight. It took me a while to get there, right? But there came a point when I realized trading 10 wasn't any harder than trading 5. And then I traded 10, and I'm like, well, you know what? Trading 20 isn't any different mechanics than trading 10. If I long as I don't trade the way I trade, I'm having a good success, right? Consistent success trading the way I am. So once you get to that point, then it's just a matter of sizing up little by little by little, right? I didn't go from 1 to 100.
Little by little. Yeah.
So it takes time. It took me 3 years to get to that point, right? So good question. Yep.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Well, we've had some good questions. We've had some different questions. Cameron, I hope to hear back from you sometime in the future. If you would do that for me, it'd be interesting to hear if research helped calm your nerves or change your line of thinking, or if you decided that you just wanted to rip the Band-Aid off and be done with it, and be able to sleep better at night, whatever. Let me know what you think, right? Hopefully I gave you some information. There's stuff like that happens every day here at American Dream Trading, right? So glad y'all could be here. Again, my name's Mark McSee. We are live here 3 times daily at American Dream Trading. Make sure you head to our website, American Dream Trading, grab them 7-day free trial memberships, and also our other memberships, including the Diamond for $5,000 that we have over there. Again, we're live 3 times a day. Coach is live from 9 to 11. I'm live from 2 to 4. And the aftermarket show starts in 30 seconds over on our YouTube channel, where you'll also find over 2,800 absolutely free training videos there to watch at your convenience. Stop over at our aftermarket show on our YouTube channel, American Dream Trading. Say hi to Dawn. Tell her you came from the future. And we're going to call it a day today. Make sure anybody you come in contact with between now and this time tomorrow, that you would be somebody that would lift that person up, that you'd be an encourager rather than a discourager. There are plenty of people with black hearts in this world. We don't need to be another one. So anybody smile at you, you really don't know what's going on behind that smile. So try to always be a positive source of interaction with those around you. And we will see you same time, same bat channel tomorrow. Goodbye.